primarily M&A and transactional advisors is the bulk of our business. However, companies will hire us to do what we call a value assessment. We'll go through the process and we'll say, we think your company's worth X, you've got Y amount of debt, here's going to be and we run that down through what are the net shareholder proceeds. Because you could have a company that's worth $10 million, but if you're loaded with debt and you need new equipment, maybe your proceeds aren't going to be significant. And that's really the number that you want to look at is what are you going to get at the end of the process.
What's involved when you're doing an evaluation? What are you looking at? Because not everybody who sells knows all the different steps to take into their mind. They might leave out one or two lines, which then affect the number in a big way.
Well, we have a checklist that we've developed over the years of documents that we ask for. It's not too long. It's not too short. It's been honed over time to get us a reasonable picture of what we think is needed to establish what a value would be on an M&A value based on the market, what we're seeing. Now, so to kind of go back to your question, if we go through a value assessment process, people will say, well, I'm not ready then because I've got too much debt, or I really need to work on this EBITDA number, or my revenue went down last year and that doesn't look good. So we'll discuss those factors. And I've had plenty of owners say, I'll come back to you in 6 months or a year. Let me take care of these things. Another conversation we have over and over again with owners is, what's the impact of net working capital requirements on owner net shareholder proceeds on a transaction? And the most common response I get to that question is, what is that, and why am I thinking about that, and why do I need to think about that? Those are questions, and when we go through the numbers, owners will say, wow, if I manage my working capital just a little bit differently over the next year, I can I don't want to say radically, but I can change the proceeds that I'm going to get out of this business because I manage the working capital more tightly. And I can prove to a buyer that I was able to make the same EBITDA by managing that net working capital. And those are kind of arcane concepts when you're running a business on a daily basis. You're not thinking about that. And I can give you examples where that gets people, their light bulb goes off and they go, okay, I'm going to work on this for a year or two and then I'll sell.